between, that hybrid, if you will. And it was, Wild Horse is a densely populated subdivision. I know you know somebody that lives in that area. 1604 and Braun has a lot of residents. And so it was scary. And thankfully, no lives were taken. I mean, that's the most grateful thing we can say, is that everyone is safe. It was a lot of property damage. But man, an EF1 tornado, we rarely see those. And when we do, in these kind of thunderstorm environments, I want to, one of the takeaways, we typically get those EF0s or EF1s. They can definitely do a lot of damage. They're very dangerous storms. But rarely does San Antonio get one of those big EF3, EF4 wedge tornadoes. It has happened. My good friend Richard Oliver did a wonderful piece in the San Antonio Express News years ago about tornadoes and their lack of frequency here. And it was, he shared it with me, in lieu of what happened this week. And it was just wonderful first to read his writing again. I miss his writing. But it was interesting, to see. And it was back in the, I want to say 50s, that we had a major tornado, one of the biggest ones we ever recorded. I want to say some highs. How are you, Tessa? Good afternoon, Eddie. It has been incredible, right? Thanks, Patra. I appreciate you watching. I remember I even shared this bit of news last week, or this week I should say, that it was last spring of 2019, that we had 8 straight weeks of severe weather. And I thought, wow, this is exceptional. I remember when it got to about 3 weeks in a row, I started counting and thinking, this is getting, this is obviously something's going on here. Consecutive severe weather outbreaks. It wasn't every day like we almost saw this week, right? It was almost just one or 2 days. Not that, as we get to 7 days tomorrow, -1, that we've had it every day for the week. But it was that pattern that I said, okay, and we got up to 8. Now, granted, I do remember that number 8 was a bit of a stretch because the weather was affecting Eagle Pass down to about Laredo, but I counted that. It was a severe thunderstorm, isolated, but that made 8 straight weeks. And then this spring is trying to outdo last spring. We have easily surpassed the amount. It just wasn't spread over 8 weeks, which gives us a little break. It seems like it was all packed up into one. And we're going to talk about that today, just some of the meteorology of why it was stretched out like that, what we saw. You can see the radar behind me. This is what we saw yesterday, 24-hour loop. And we'll take a closer look at those storms. Watch, it was, again, this time yesterday, and you can see them just blasting Gillespie County. This was where everything started. And look how early it was. So we had conditions, we had horrible storms Wednesday night, and it dumped an incredible amount of hail on Kerrville. So we get to Thursday, and the conditions were first favorable for Taylor. No rain tonight. That's the good news, right? There's Addison. When? Wednesday was your 7th birthday. Sandra, that's awesome. Addison, I've got to tell you something real quick. Happy birthday, dear Addison. Happy birthday to you, the lucky 7. That was a nice finish, right? That's what the kids call freestyling. That's not a lyric. I didn't read that. Happy birthday, Addison. Hope it was a wonderful Wednesday for you. And then we had those storms Wednesday night. Poor thing. Oh, man. All right, so back. Let me show you what we had. We get to the station yesterday afternoon, and at first, the severe weather threat for yesterday afternoon was down in the southwest. It was down in this area. If you can see the arrow here, it stretched, the severe weather threat stretched east to about here. It was like central Bandera County down to Hondo and just clipping Pearsall. That was like the shade, and it was, or I should say the line that was drawn, and that was the 2 out of 5 chance, the slight risk of severe weather. And then San Antonio was in what we call the marginal, the 1 out of 5 risk, right? The lowest on the scale. So obviously mindful, but then by noon, the Severe Prediction Center stretched it farther east and said conditions are now favorable in San Antonio for severe weather. And we really felt the timing was going to be about the same, probably into the 6, 7, 8 p.m. hour. But look what happens instead. This outflow gets started early near San Angelo, and drop south. Look at that, it just explode right on top of Kerrville at 3:30 in the afternoon. Big hail fell, and then it was at this point, right at 4 p.m., and I'll take the lightning off, that we had rotation in the cell dropping into Bandera County. So a tornado warning was issued at this point yesterday when we saw this powerful cell, and it started dropping south towards Medina, Texas. Okay, so let me show you, if we take the hail off, you might be able to see a little bit of that notch that indicates, see how that spin, I should say notch forms? That's where we expect a little bit of that spin to occur, right in here. See that little hook? So we call the hook echo, okay? Now we're not looking at the vorticity. I wonder if that's also on this loop. Let's see. Hopefully it will be. No, can't give us that. Okay. Well, like I said, that's the best we can do on what that notch may have looked like. I can't show you the vorticity at that same moment, but it was impressive. And we had what we call gate-to-gate shear, and that's the indication on radar that the water's being spun around within that storm. This was a little after, it was right in that hook, and then it dropped into, I'm sorry, I'm a little ahead of myself here. Let me move this farther north. Whoop. This guy. Okay. So it's what, right in there, right? And then when it came down into the Bandera County area and closer to Medina, Texas, it really lost that signature. Look at that. It really collapsed fast. Now, it was still a very strong storm for Bandera, and there was hail, but it was minimal. I mean, it was like nickel size. It was even penny size in some cases, as that rain moves right into Medina Lake, which was nice. They got some good rain again yesterday. But then look at how fast the storms collapsed in San Antonio. And I was talking to Paul Morellis, you know, in the mid-morning hours, and he was saying, he said, you know, the chance is very good that we see these storms not only erupt, but then move into San Antonio at the same power, you know. And he said the computer models were indicating that they'll collapse on arrival. And he and I were both, I mean, looking at conditions and thinking there's just no way. Paul's like, look, there's no way they collapse like that. There's every reason to believe they stay strong, but look what happened. They did collapse, and the model was correct. So sometimes that does happen. You know, we just had such a high dew point yesterday afternoon. We had so much sunshine leading into the event that I said every ingredient tells me that, you know, northwest San Antonio especially is going to get hit just as hard as what we're seeing up there near Kerrville. So we were all under a severe thunderstorm watch until 10 p.m., but that was canceled early in the evening, probably like 7:30, 8 o'clock, when the storms finally moved south and the air stabilized. We had a little north breeze. So, all right, let's see who else is on real quick. What's going on out there? We've been blessed with all this rain. Yes, in Seguin. Armando, good to see you guys. Hi, Lucinda. Nothing to do with today. Just joined. No, Amber, I'm just recapping yesterday. Yeah, you know, just the takeaways from that severe weather outbreak yesterday. We are in good shape. I hate to even have that radar up. Let's go outside and let's show you what we've got. There's the beautiful San Antonio. It's still mostly cloudy. We still, again, we get so much moisture. It's incredible how fast we replenish things, and it's warm. But look at that dew point, still at 64. That north breeze at 9 is what's helping a lot in helping to stabilize things out there. And I can show you live radar now. Everything is quiet. Oh, that's going to be the storm reports from last night. We'll look at those too. Let's go to radar and to the now image. And look at there. So 24 hours of loop. And there's Thursday night. A few showers at the Rio Grande, but then look at how nice we dry out. Now, you can still see some very heavy rain around Laredo. Look at that through this morning. Now South Padre getting some heavy rain. But I think it clears out for the weekend if you've got a beach trip planned. Should be a nice weekend at the coast. So there we're scanning the skies, getting some rain down near Brownsville and McAllen, but the rest of the state's in really good shape. For Baytown, I don't think so. Maybe an isolated shower, Gara. I have not, Roy, see, waiting to hug a trapper, waiting to hug a lot of my coworkers for that matter, man. Can't wait till we all get back to work and people are in the building. Today, this afternoon, just warm and humid, Bobby. Mostly cloudy, but I don't expect any rain. 4 3/4. Wow, Roy, see? That's a soaker. I don't know about New Braunfels. Chickens are quickly learning to swim, right? Chickens have turned into ducks. Well, everything's looking good. New Braunfels, San Antonio, I mean, we are dry. We're looking pretty good heading into the weekend. It's going to start getting hot, Marie. Absolutely right. Karnes County just came on. Any storms tomorrow? My son has a baseball game at 10 a.m. Dale, enjoy that baseball game on Saturday morning. America's pastime. It's going to be wonderful. I hated to see that a lot of the little leagues canceled. You know, and it was Helotes first, I think, and then I saw McAllister. It's really a shame. I really love baseball. I used to coach baseball and missed the Yankees games when I was a kid growing up in New Jersey, went to Yankees and Mets games, and man, I just really hate to see that COVID claims another one of our wonderful activities, and that's going to be baseball. So yeah, some warm temperatures out there this afternoon. In fact, I showed you 86 in San Antonio right now. Let's take a look around the area at area temperatures, and we've got mid to, well, upper 80s at Pleasanton, 81, still 79 at Bernie and Helotes. That's nice. 87 though, warm in New Braunfels. 83 at Seguin. Okay, what does it feel like out there? Not much more. That's good news. You know, there's a little humidity, but the heat index isn't too bad. Just getting some mid-90s on the coast, but remember, you get a nice sea breeze with that. So what caused all these storms? Let's talk a little meteorology real quick and show you what happened. This is our water vapor imagery, and I want to give you a good look at the national picture because that's where you're going to see this best. Okay, and we'll get that out like that. And let's get back now to our map display. Okay. So you can see that it looks pretty messy down in the Gulf. That looks like a little area that we'll watch this afternoon for sure. Nothing tropical. Well, you're not going to see that low that it was really so well defined on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You can see what's left of it kind of moving through the eastern half of the U.S. It was a huge area of low pressure that just sat over the central United States and then dropped south into Texas. Had a big counterclockwise spin on it. It was grabbing all that Gulf moisture, right? And then that counterclockwise roll around it, it was almost like the hub in the wheel, and you had the spokes as all those lines of instability, those upper level disturbances were coming in on, and when you get that northwest flow, those will be a consistent pattern of wave after wave, and that's why it was every day, because the wave would move through, and then we'd had plenty of time to get a southeast wind on the surface, replenish all the moisture, the sun would replenish the instability, and that would fuel things for another outbreak when another one of those lines dropped in. See, now that low's out of the way. We replenish the atmosphere, the dew point's in the mid-60s, the sun is out, destabilization occurs, right? But there's no trigger now. That's the difference now for today, tomorrow, Sunday. There's a slight chance of rain Monday, but this is an interesting batch of moisture that I'm looking at again, south and southeast. What's left of some of that Lowe's energy, but that will be interesting to take a look at what the thinking is on some of that. But I can show you the next 48 hours and what we expect. So this afternoon, a couple of afternoon showers possible to the south. You can see future radar, and this is the HRRR, very reliable model with this severe weather outbreak this week. We used this one a lot this week. It was doing a really good job. So it looks like most of the rain, if it develops, stays well to our south even tomorrow afternoon. Temperature-wise, you can see the high on Saturday, about 87, maybe a few upper 80s, but man, that's just a few ticks below seasonal average. Then on Sunday afternoon, we're upwards of about low 80s by 2 o'clock, and that's where that model run ends, 48 hours from now. You're welcome, Jenna. Good to see you. Hey, Alan, how are you? Sandra Addison, love the picture and the beach. Did somebody put up a picture of the beach? Which pic? I don't see it. I love the beach. South Padre Island, not a far trip at all. If you've just moved to San Antonio, that's the most, the longest drive, as far as getting to a really nice beach. Port A is closer, Rockport closer, not than Port A. They're about the same, I guess. But the beaches are beautiful. I love the Rockport area. Great restaurants, great little town there on the Texas coast. All right, so while we're talking about that, you've got some weekend plans. Let's talk a little forecast. 7-day from San Fernando Cathedral in beautiful downtown San Antonio. So Saturday, nice morning, mid-60s, then sunshine, north breeze, 89. On Sunday, mostly sunny, another mid-60-degree morning. Should feel good, not as nice as the 50s, but 90 the high on Sunday. The final 2 days of May. Welcome to June on Monday with a slight chance of an afternoon shower. Otherwise, sun and, just a few clouds, 89 to 91 through Tuesday, and then another slight chance moves in by Thursday and Friday, around 20%. So really nothing like we've seen as this atmosphere begins to stabilize a little bit for us. Pollen numbers while I'm seeing them here, and then I'm going to show you some weekend getaways, and then we've got some pictures on our Fun Time Friday. So look at this, mold jumped. This damp weather will always escalate mold spores, and that's what we're battling today, almost hitting 10,000. So very heavy at 9,680. 2 days this week, we had it around 16,000, 17,000. So it's climbing back in that direction after dropping for a couple days. But you can see that. The good news, too, I have not updated this, but I can tell you that the aquifer has been in really good shape with all the recent rains. I've not seen what it did today yet, but as of yesterday, I want to show you that the number was healthier. We were about 2 feet away from stage 1 water restrictions. Last summer, we did not even hit restrictions. All summer, we did not even go to stage 1, which is watering once a week with your irrigation systems at home. Well, we got down close to about 2 feet away from that trigger of stage 1, and the rains began. So the trigger is the 10-day average number, and that's the one we watch to hit 660, that middle number. Right now it's at 666.9, 7 feet practically above the trigger, and it was up. That was going to be Wednesday to Thursday on the 24-hour change, because like I mentioned, I did not update this just yet. Oh wait, the one that might be updated, so 669.8, let's see if this one has been shown. Oh, yep, we went up again. So this is today's, 670.7. So we're up nicely. Another little more than half a foot. Now the 10-day average, 667 on the nose, 7 feet away from stage 1. That is great news. And while we're there, you can see what the aquifer is. This is San Antonio's primary source of water, an artesian well that runs basically northwest and west of San Antonio. The same Edwards of the Edwards Aquifer is also the Edwards of Edwards County, where Rock Springs is the county seat. You see it on the left there? Big county. You could fit probably 2 to 2.5 Bear counties in Edwards County. And that's the same Edwards family that, I guess, big landowners and founded a lot of that area out there to our west. All right, Joe, take a nap, get some rest. Hope you have a great night at work. Nada mucho, Esla. I hope your day's going well, too. Thank you so much. Hi, Lexi. Thursday. No, it doesn't appear to be. Right now, it's just, 6 days away. So some things can change, but right now the chances are minimal. Does not look like it's going to be anything too severe. I do want to show you what we've got on weekend getaways, forecast-wise, for the weekend. Corpus Christi, slight chance of some afternoon showers Sunday, and again on Monday. Fredericksburg, if you're going to do a little antiquing in beautiful downtown Fredericksburg, sunny on Saturday, 84, few clouds on Sunday, slight chance of a shower Monday. South Padre Island, we saw some of the showers today, so it looks like just cloudy skies tomorrow, and then a chance of some coastal showers Sunday, Monday. So pretty typical down at the coast this time of year, those pop-up showers. And if you're heading up to the state capitol, really nice weather to enjoy Austin, Texas. Lots of sunshine Saturday. You could hit Zilker Park. It's a wonderful spot, mid-80s and partly cloudy Sunday. No chance of rain even on Monday. All right, so Fun Time Friday is when we reserve some time for some pictures that you send us. And if you ever want to be a part of that and share some of your beautiful shots around South Texas, email them to me at btaylor@kens5.com, and we'll get them not only on television, but right here for Fun Time Friday. We've had some spectacular weather pictures, and this is always a time to remind you that when we do have severe weather, please make sure you're putting safety first. Make sure that you're taking these pictures safely, shooting this video safely. I know everyone's got a camera now, so just be aware of where the weather is if you're going to be taking those kind of pictures. Now, we did capture a lot of Mother Nature's beauty from last night especially. It was almost kind of her payback. I like to say that Mother Nature apologizes. Sorry about all that racket I caused, but here's some beautiful sunsets for you. So let's get some pictures started. I've got the assistance of digital ninja Kristen Dean today, so thank you, Kristen, for helping me out on the assist for today's weather classroom. I guess we'll start with the first picture. This is a lightning shot as part of the severe weather outbreak. Now, I'm not going to, can you switch it from there, Kristen, or do I switch it from here? I just don't know which. If you could text me what I have to hit on the keys here. I'm not sure how to pop up what I'm looking at over there. Oh, you did it. Thank you. SHAREE VARELAS. Nice shot. Now look at the lightning bolts energy at the top compared to the bottom where it finally reaches the surface, right? That is a spectacular shot, SHAREE. I really, really like that. We had so much lightning, right? And remember, lightning creates ozone. So there's a little replenishment process going on with our ozone. It's not a one-to-one, but it helps, okay? And then there's also the supercharge of the nitrates that come down with lightning. That's why it's not just the green, or it's not just the rain that causes that grass to be so green and really green it up nicely for us. It's also the lightning, those nitrates, that nitrogen, that is in fertilizer. I mean, it's like a steroid for your lawn. Now, Mary Jo, yes, let's go to that shot next. This is near Rio Medina, and this was taken yesterday. Mary Jo saw a funnel cloud, and she captured it. This is a funnel cloud, and it reminds me of, there's a great video, I want to say her name was Haley, young lady that put a camera on her roof in Wild Horse for Sunday Night Storm, and you can look on my Facebook page and my Twitter, btaylorkens5, for that video. It's amazing. You actually see the time lapse of the funnel form. The first one forms and dissipates, but then it turns black as night before that EF1 hit. All right, so yeah, let's see Mary Jo's picture next. And you can see that funnel right at the center of your screen. Uh-oh, there's Andrew Revell. Uh-oh, Sir Mix-a-Lot. All right, thanks, Kristen. There you go. And you can see it, center of your screen. That's the funnel. See where that bright sunshine? Now, again, a funnel cloud is different from a tornado just because of what it does or does not do. A funnel cloud will not reach the surface. Once there's touchdown confirmed, we have a tornado. But right at this point where Mary Jo fired this, and this is again Rio Medina yesterday, that's just a funnel cloud. The problem with what we saw yesterday with that thunderstorm producing a tornado in this same area, because again it was south of Ingram near west of Kerrville and dropping into Bandera County is where we saw rotation of that thunderstorm. That thunderstorm and that rotation was associated with very heavy rain, blinding rain. And when it's coming down like that, 3 to 4 inches per hour, you can't see anything. And so you could never see a vortex like we're seeing from Mary Jo's camera here. But that's where it gets a little bit more scary, was what we had yesterday afternoon. So this is not the possible tornado that we had dropping from Ingram, south of Ingram into Bandera County yesterday afternoon. This is instead a Rio Medina funnel cloud. Again, thanks Mary Jo Hedrick. Okay, now Andrew Revell was doing a little hurricane drawing. We have our Tropical Tuesdays, and you know, here's what's interesting. Of course, June 1 is Monday, and that's the beginning of hurricane season in the Atlantic and the Gulf of Mexico. And so it's all eyes on the Caribbean and the Gulf now. Well, we've already had 2 named storms. We've had was it Arthur or Andrew? No, it wasn't Andrew, obviously. It was Arthur. And second was Bertha, neither of which, I keep wanting to say Andrew because of Andrew Revell. There's my man. What's up, Andrew? 13 years old and awesome hurricanes. And you can see he's writing, this is a hurricane, not this is Hurricane Andrew. He put his name on the bottom because Hurricane Andrew, we all know, is a very familiar storm, a Category 5 that hit in 1992. That was my first year in television meteorology, and I was in Lake Charles, Louisiana. And so, interesting story about Hurricane Andrew. It made landfall in southeast Florida, right, near Miami and Homestead, Florida, flattened that part of the Florida peninsula. Well, then it reemerged in the eastern Gulf of Mexico and made a second landfall in New Iberia, Louisiana. And that was just off to the east of where I was in Lake Charles, because you have Lake Charles, you have Lafayette, then you have Baton Rouge. And in between, pretty much Lafayette and Baton Rouge is New Iberia. And that's where the storm made a second landfall. And, or no, it's closer to Lafayette, because it's essentially the Lake Charles viewing area. Because back when I started this business in '92, it was a Lake Charles, Lafayette television market. It was combined both of those great Cajun towns with incredible Cajun food, by the way. I just had my niece visit for Memorial Day weekend. Her and her husband brought boudin. Oh, I hugged them so tight. Boudin is my favorite. It's a sausage with like a rice dressing in there. Oh man, and you can't get the real deal unless it comes from Southwest Louisiana, I'm telling you. You know, you can get boudin at HEB, but no offense, it's just not the real deal, Holyfield. If you get it from Southwest Louisiana, from Peto's or from Gillis, oh, look out, brother. That's some good boudin. Oh, it was so good. Okay, I digress. Andrew Revell, 13 years old. Thank you, my brother. So glad you're being a part of our weather classroom and enjoying Tropical Tuesdays. All right, Martin Maldonado gets a shot of some mammatus clouds. So these are very interesting how these form. These can be out ahead or just behind a cumulonimbus storm cloud. It's typically going to be on either side of that the water droplets at the top of those very tall storms, I'm talking about 55, 60,000 feet in height, those tops and those ice crystals drop, and as they descend, they turn back into water vapor and they cool. And so with that cooling process and them turning back to vapor, and it kind of helps produce these kind of clouds. That's the process of what's happening, essentially, as I understand it, to create mammatus clouds. And they look like eggs, you know, they just look like little bulbs coming out. It's really a cool cloud formation, probably one of the coolest that you'll see. Thank you, Martin Maldonado. That was a really cool picture from yesterday. And is that all? What other pictures do we have, Kristen? We'll see what else on the comments real quick. Hey, Stacy Malfitano, how you doing? What's going on over there, Stacy Malfitano? Her great husband, Steve. I love you guys. Miss you guys terribly. Quick story. Again, I digress as we look at Janice Zeidelman. This is a beautiful shot. That is a gorgeous sunset. This was from yesterday. The most beautiful sunsets in every direction. So Steve and Stacy Malfitano were in our birth class when we were having our first child. Jamie and I are going to have Carissa, and of course, Stacy and Stephen are having Anthony. And we got to be such good friends with them and went through the whole birthing class with them, and we still are friends today. Miss you guys. Haven't seen you in a while. Hope everything's great. So yeah, thank you, Janice. Some great color last night. This is, like I said, this is when Mother Nature says, hey, listen, sorry about all that racket last couple of nights and all week long. Here's a little sunset color for you. There's Janet Stock, beautiful picture with those rows of clouds. See how they kind of line up there? That's a really nice looking shot too. Another gorgeous South Texas sunset. Thank you, Janet. Remember, all the pictures you can send to me at btaylor@kens5.com, btaylor@kens5.com. I had a little hiccup there because I was thinking of, oh wait, that was, go back one? Uh-oh. I saw one, they were pointing to a beautiful sunset. I saw a gentleman in the foreground. There's Andrew. Hi, Andrew Revell. Love that smile. Great picture. There we go. Uh-oh. There's Sharee again. Alicia and Juan Garcia. I love this. Look at that color. That is a beautiful sunset in the neighborhood. No, what I was going to tell you is that when you post these to social media, do the hashtag Kens5Eyewitness on your Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, MySpace, Napster, whatever you use. But yeah, do a hashtag Kens5Eyewitness and we can see it as well. But this is a great colored shot. Look at that. Magnificent. And I love seeing the American flag in that shot. Beautiful picture. Beautiful picture. Thank you all. Thank you for all the pictures, and I hope to see some more in the coming weeks, of course, as we continue our Cloudy with a Chance of Learning. Now, stay tuned to our evening broadcast as well as our social platforms. We're going to release next week's curriculum on our Cloudy with a Chance of Learning. We postponed it about 30 minutes today, but every day usually is at 1 p.m. when we do our live interactive weather classroom. We take your questions and we take your suggestions on topics. Please email me today if you have a topic you'd like us to cover, btaylor@kens5.com with, hey, teach us about this or that, or what's this mean or that mean. Any question. The only stupid question is the one not asked, right? I've always heard that. So please, ask any questions about meteorology that we can cover on topics. It would be wonderful to get that kind of feedback and cover the topics you'd like to hear about. And of course, it'll be every day with all of our weather team heading into next week. Thanks to Kristen Dean for the digital assist today, and I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. I'm Bill Taylor. I love you guys. You know I mean that. God bless you. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Stay safe.